Hey guys, and welcome to the beginning of Season 2 of Upkeep. Starting now, we are going back to a new episode every other week, with on those in-between weeks having an after show where we talk more about the games and the decks that we are playing. To start the season off great, we are playing with the new cards in Wilds of Eldraine. We got to build some really sweet new decks that I'm excited for you to see. Thank you so much for Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this video. I think this video is coming out the same day that Wilds of Eldraine is coming out, but you can still check out the link that we have in the description if you would like to order a box or the new precons or anything like that. Today, I am playing the Goose Mother. I'm going to spend as much of the game as I can just ramping, casting her, finding ways to bounce her back to my hand, cast her again, get as many of these food tokens as I can, and then try to find some weird, fun things to do with those food tokens. It'll be a fun time.
Hey guys, Preston here. Today, I'm going to be playing Beluna Grand Skull. It's an adventure deck. I want to play as many adventures as possible, as quickly as possible, and yeah, it should be fun.
Hey guys, Jason here for another episode of Upkeep. Today I'm going to be playing Ellivere of the Wild Court. Basically, this deck is all about enchantments, specifically auras, synergies with creatures that have auras attached to them, so hopefully it's a lot of fun and hopefully I win.
Hey, it's Steven here. I'm going to be playing Tegwyll, Duke of Splendor. I will be playing an upgraded precon of the Fey Dominion deck. It is a Dimir Fairy tribal deck. I don't have a Dimir deck as of now, so I'm excited for this. We'll see what happens. All right, for the first time in a while, I won the dice roll. Let's start this off. I want to play an Evolving Wilds, tap it, sacrifice it to go find a basic island, showing off that new awesome art from Wilds of Eldraine, and I'll pass.
Ooh, I will draw my card for turn. I will play a command tower into Soul Ring and pass.
Nice.
All right, kill Preston first.
No!
I will draw. I will play
do nothing.
this Plains and pass.
I'm going to play Temple of Deceit and enters tapped, and I use Battlefield, I scry 1. That will be in my turn. Cool. I will put it on the bottom.
I'm going to play Gingerbread Cabin. It will enter tap, so I won't get its ability. And then for 1, I'm going to play a Soul Ring. And then for 2, I'm going to play the Simic Signet.
No.
And I will pass.
So now
doing
Morgan
great
actually
things.
deserves it, because I didn't do anything with my Soul Ring.
It existed on turn 1. That's enough for me.
I follow that logic.
Green and 2, I'm going to help everyone out with the Rites of Flourishing.
Oh!
Yay! Additional land and additional card draw.
My first land will be a Stomping Ground. I will not pay the 2. My second land will be Edgewall Inn. I will choose green. Pass.
All right, I will draw not once, but twice. Thanks, Preston.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna play this Plains, and I'm going to play this Myriad Landscape. It will enter tapped. It's gonna be it for me.
Okay. I'll untap, and I will draw 2 cards, correct?
Yep.
Cool. I will play an island as my first land, and I'll play a swamp as my second land.
This game's already kind of bonkers.
I will pay 1 to play Soul Ring.
Now I'm the only one without a soul ring.
So team up on him.
I'll do black, blue, 1. I will cast my commander, Tegwyll, Duke of Splendor. 2, 3, flying, death touch, other fairies you control get +1/+1. Whenever another fairy you control dies, you draw a card and lose a life. That 1 floating from Soul Ring will sadly fizzle, and I will pass the turn.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to cast Lorien Revealed. I draw 3 cards. So I'll play a forest, and unfortunately, I think I'm also going to play Boseiju, who endures, just so I can keep up with the table.
Hey man, land is a land is a land.
I think I'm going to pass.
Draw.
I should use up Boseiju to blow it up. So that
It's so annoying when he does it.
For 3, Commander Sphere. Then 2 for Arcane Signet.
Gross.
Let's see, which pathway do I want? I think we'll do the green one. For 2, I'm going to cast Passionate Archaeologist.
Oh boy.
Commander creatures I own have, whenever I cast a spell from exile, this creature deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to target opponent. We will pass.
I will play this Plains. Guess I will just activate my Myriad Landscape, go search for 2 forests and put them onto the battlefield tab. I will have to discard. I will discard this Ethereal Armor and pass while I search for these lands.
Okay. I didn't get a land, so I'm having the same problem you are, except
Hey,
you're probably technically doing better.
I only had my 1 land a turn. I didn't hit a second one.
So first things first, I'm going to pay a blue to play Fairy Seer. It's a 1/1 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2. Oh no, I definitely want both of those there.
All right, someone make a mill.
And then I'll pay blue and 2 to play Scion of Una. It's a 1/1 with flying. It says other fairy creatures I control get +1/+1, and other fairies I control have Shroud. I will roll to see if I attack Morgan or Preston. If
Why is
it's,
Jason not in the mix?
even, odd. Preston, I'm hitting you for 3 damage, and that is commander damage.
Am I go?
Yes, that's the end of my turn.
I'm gonna play a Blighted Woodland as my first land for the turn. 1, 2, 3. Start protecting myself a bit. I'm gonna play a Propaganda. Creatures can't attack me unless their controller pays 2 for each of those creatures. I think I'm just gonna pass.
Okay. I'm going to cast my commander's adventure, Seek Thrills. It's an instant. Mill 7 cards, then put all cards that have an adventure from among the milled cards into my hand.
So what cards
Did
are
you
going to
get
your
one?
hand?
I got 1.
What was it?
Stormkeld Vanguard.
Oh, I know what enchantment should be destroyed.
For now, I'm just gonna cast my commander from exile. And then pass.
I'm gonna play this Sungrass. 6. I'm gonna go ahead and just cast Sun Titan.
Oh, that's pretty good.
6/6 with Vigilance. When he enters the battlefield or attacks, I may return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from my graveyard to the battlefield. I will return this ethereal armor. It's +1/+1 for each enchantment you control and has first strike. Then I will pass the turn.
On tap, and I will draw 2. I've got their lands. We will go ahead and just play both of them. So I'm going to attack Morgan with Tegwyll, so that's 3.
So you have to pay 2 mana.
Yeah, fine. 3
Damage.
commander damage. I'm going to attack you with Fairy Seer, so that's 3. I'm going to attack you with Scion of Una, so that's 2. 3 to play Repulse. I'm going to return target creature to its owner's hand. I'm going to turn Fairy Seer to my hand.
Okay.
And then draw a card, and then I will pay a blue to play Fairy Seer again, allowing me to scry 2 again. I'm gonna put both on the bottom. Cannot do anything with 1, so I will pass the turn.
On your end step, I'm going to pay for it to tap and sacrifice the Blighted Woodland to find 2 basics to put onto the battlefield tapped. I'm going to find 2 basic islands. I lied. I'm going to grab 1 island and 1 snow-covered island. Untap, draw 2 cards. For green, I'm going to tap the Soul Ring, so I'll have 1 floating. I'm going to Rampant Growth, find a basic to put onto the battlefield, then shuffle. I'm going to grab a snow-covered forest. So with that 1 floating, going to tap the Simic Signet, 6/7, where X is equal to 5. I'm going to pull from Tomorrow to draw 5 cards, then discard a card.
Oh, I don't like it.
I think I'm going to discard Adric and Nev Twin Casters.
Not good enough, Steven.
I only have 1 land.
We've damaged his soul deeply.
I'm going to play a Myriad Landscape as my land for the turn.
Copycat.
I have 10 cards in hand, so going to my end step, I'll have to discard 3 cards.
1 eternity later.
About time. Forest, and then Dreamroot Cascade. Green and 1, leaving 1 colorless floating. Retrieve Prey. Exile target creature card from your graveyard until the end of my next turn. I can cast that card. I'm going to choose Solemn Simulacrum because it's the only creature. Then he costs 6 with my commander out. I will cast Tin Collie Hunter. Trample 7/7. Once each turn, I can pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for each creature spell I cast from exile, and that will trigger Passionate Archaeologist. I will deal 7 damage to Steven. Then I'm going to pay 2 to bear down Propaganda.
Oh no.
And then because of Tin Collie Hunter, I can pay 0 once each turn rather than the mana cost from a creature spell I own from exile. So I will cast him for 6. I think we hit you. And then Morgan will take to 4 trample.
Owie.
Pass.
Alright, untap.
Are we scared of Preston or not?
Yes. Upkeep, draw. Draw again.
What did I do?
Play up plans. I need you guys to just kind of be...
You don't pick on me, I send stuff Preston's way.
Okay, so first things first, I'm the realist. Cast my commander.
That is some nonsense right there, Preston.
When my commander enters the battlefield or attacks, I create a virtuous roll token attached to another target creature I control. I will target this here Sun Titan guy. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. What I'm going to do now is cast Kenneth's Transformation on Homeboy right here.
Oh yeah.
Which does...
Just turns it into an elk.
You're so mean and hateful.
Wing at Preston with the 10/10.
You know, buddy, you did something cool last turn. Let's block the 10 damage.
Cool.
And you drew the card from Kenneth's Transformation.
Oh, no, I did not.
And when you attack, Sun Titan trigger.
So we're going to put the Myriad Landscape back onto the battlefield, and it will enter tapped. Pass.
Do you have to discard down?
I probably do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to discard Snake Umbra.
For my first land for turn, I'll play Choked Estuary. When it enters the battlefield, I reveal an island or swamp card. so it does not enter tap. And then I'll play that swamp as my land for turn. 5. High Fae Negotiator. I will bargain it when it enters the battlefield, so I'll sacrifice Soul Ring.
Power move.
It's a 3/5 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, if it was bargained, each opponent loses 3 life, and I gain 3 life. 4. Malleable Imposter. Flash Flying Fairy Shapeshifter. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature an opponent controls, except it's a Fairy Shapeshifter in addition to its other types. And that's flying. I'll have it enter as Sun Titan. When Sun Titan, I'll get Soul Ring back.
Big brain.
And then I'm Preston. No, I'm just kidding. I'll attack Preston for 3, another 3, and 2. 3 of that being
8.
Yeah.
Untap up, draw.
And
Oh yeah, and draw again.
Stop reminding him.
For 5, I'm going to cast Doubling Season. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under my control, I create twice that many instead. And an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent I control, I put twice that many counters on that permanent instead.
The Preston's not the danger anymore.
I want to play a Simic Growth Chamber as my first land for the turn. I'm going to bounce this Boseiju back to my hand. Well, do I just hold on to Boseiju then? For 2, I'm going to cast Clan Crafter. It's a background that says commander creatures I control have pay 2, sack an artifact to put a 1/1 counter on that creature and draw a card.
It's getting scary.
I think it's okay for me to not blow up the Passionate Archaeologist, so I'm just going to replay Boseiju so I can keep up with the mana. I think I'm going to pass.
Rootbound Craig will be my land for the turn. For 4, I will cast Solemn Simulacrum. When it enters the battlefield, I search my library for a basic land, put that card onto the battlefield tapped.
And that was from Exile, right?
Yep, so I guess Steven has the most right now, so Steven will get an island.
Preston has a pretty hefty board right now. We're all rocking the Glad trash bags, and he's over here hefty.
How do you think of these things?
Sun Titan's a 10/10 right now?
As long as it's not going to me, I don't care.
There's 10 creatures out, right?
No.
I will be casting Heroic Intervention.
Ooh.
It's literally not going to hurt you at all.
Dude,
Mind your business.
I'll let it happen.
Alright, so Heroic Intervention happens, and then red, and 2 for Chain Reaction. Deals X damage to each creature where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield, which is currently 10.
Wait, oh yeah. I'll get to draw a bunch of cards. Whenever another fairy you control dies, I'll draw a card and lose a life. So I'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4 cards and I'll lose 4 life.
Dang, 1 more board wipe might kill Stave.
Definitely getting the commander damage again.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and take that now. I can't stop it.
I'm gonna send him at you, Jason. Because most of Steven's creatures can't block it. I will pass.
I'm going to cast Unfinished Business. Return target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, then return up to 2 target aura or equipment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to that creature. So we're gonna bring back the Sun Titan, and we're gonna grab the Ethereal Armor as 1, and then we're gonna grab the Snake Umbra as the second one.
And what does Snake Umbra do again?
Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals combat damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. And it has Totem Armor.
I don't want to point this out, but you do get to grab Kenrith when Sun Titan comes in.
It's solemn, so we can't draw a card by
Wait.
jump blocking. Or I guess the big one, but yeah.
Don't forget to draw your card.
Guys, if we kill
7,
Preston,
8.
we don't get to draw extra cards and play extra lands.
Exactly, so stop.
Pass the turn.
Cool. I'll play Temple of the False God as one of my lands for turn. When I'll play Dwar Isle Refuge as my second. When it enters battlefield, tap this battlefield, I'll gain a life. 3, 4, 5 to recast my commander. So I'm going to pay 4 to Fairy Harbinger. 2/2 flash flying. When it comes into play, you may search your library for a fairy card, reveal it, shuffle your library and put a card on top of it.
I'm going to assume that's going to take a minute, so just in response, while you're doing that, I'm going to pay 2 to crack my Myriad Landscape.
Okay. Getting Glenn, Elendra, Leech.
Turn the card over. We know what it is.
What this?
Yeah.
I will pass the turn.
On your end step, I'm going to pay 1 to Mystical Tutor, find an instant or a sorcery to put on top of my library. I'm going to grab Shared Summon, and that will go on top of my library after.
What's that do?
It's a 5-mana instant that says I can find 2 creatures to put into my hand.
I don't like him getting that.
Turn that card over.
Draw number 1. Draw number 2.
All right, show us that one too.
Yeah.
For 3, I'm going to cast Peregrine Took. It's a 2/3 that says if I would ever create a token, I create that many plus an additional food token, and I can sack 3 foods to draw a card. 7, 8, 9. Where X is equal to 7, I'm going to cast the Goose Mother.
Okay.
Anti-climax.
That was so.
I have doubling season though, so where X is equal to 7, I'm actually going to put 14 1/1 counters on her. So it's rounded up.
So you'd make 8.
I make an additional one because a Peregrine took, and then that would also get doubled, so I actually have 10. I don't really feel like missing land drops, so I'm going to sack 3 foods, going to 7 to draw a card. Please be a land. It's not. I think I do it one more time to draw one more card. There's a forest. This is kind of a waste, but for a green, I'm going to charge through, giving the Goose Mother trample until end of turn. I'm going to draw a card. I guess that's it. I think I'm going to pass.
Oh, I wonder why you saved the 2 blue mana that whole turn.
Yeah, that's not sus at all.
Scan the clouds instant, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards.
Loot all you want.
5, the Mending of Dominaria.
It just gets back lands, right?
If it resolves.
It resolves.
Okay, top 2. We will grab the Tinkali Hunter. For 2, I'll cast Retrieve Prey. If it'll resolve, exile target creature card from my graveyard until the end of my next turn I can cast it.
I think that resolves.
Okay, I will exile, I guess, Troyan. Green, 1/2, Grove's Bounty. Distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures I control. I will put 2 onto my commander. That is it for now.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to tap and sacrifice my Myriad Landscape. Go grab 2 forests, put them onto the battlefield tapped. I will cast this Smothering Tide.
Okay. No, it's fine. Go ahead.
It's fine.
He's just bluffing about this whole counter.
He could be, but he's been
Tap.
choosing his 7 cards for like 8 turns in a row.
Sage's Reverie. On to Sun Titan. It says when Sage's Reverie enters the battlefield, draw a card for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. So I'll draw 3 cards.
Sometimes it's like a trillion damage right now.
I will play this Plains and this Forest as my 2 lands for the turn. Deep, and I'm gonna swing at you with Sun Titan. Oh yeah, and on attack Sun Titan trigger, I'm gonna get Ancestral Mask back from my graveyard to the battlefield, so that's gonna buff it up even more. So it's a 34.
Oh, well, I'm just gonna return your Sun Titan to your hand now.
I'm gonna tap for 3 and cast Teferi's Protection.
Okay.
That's it, pass. My Smothering Tide doesn't trigger anymore, does it?
Nope.
Because it's phased out. That's fine.
I'm gonna pay Myriad Landscape as one of my land for turn. I'll pay an island as my other land for turn.
You don't pay them, but alright.
Play. Did I say play or pay?
You said pay,
Whatever.
100%.
Both times I was like, what? Are we in agreement that this is an issue now?
Well, you can't do anything about it now.
Pay 4
so-
to play Glen, Elendra, Liege, 2/3, Fairy Knight with flying. Other black creatures control get +1/+1. Other blue creatures control get +1/+1. Then I'll pay 3 to play Mocking Sprite. It's a 2/1 Fairy Rogue with flying. Instant and sorcery spells I cast cost 1 less to cast. 4, play Glen, Elandra, Archmage. 2/2 flying, I can pay blue, sack it to counter target non-creature spell.
Okay, so with that on the stack, if I let that resolve, will you not use it against me?
Not the whole game until they're gone. If they're gone, I think it's fair to use it against you, if it's just you and me. Does that sound fair?
I can live with that.
Okay.
All right.
It's like he doesn't even have Counterspell in his hand, and he's just holding that threat over us.
The best counterspell is the one you never have to use.
I can argue with that, but I won't.
I guess I'll hit Preston for 4, and that's gonna be it. Anyway, I guess that's it.
All right, cool. Draw number 1, draw number 2. Okay, land number 1 is going to help out the table. It's Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. Each land is a forest in addition to its other types.
Ooh!
Here for that.
For the non-green deck. That's so cool.
I'm all about that.
For 6, I'm going to cast Rishkar Expertise. I draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures I control. Then I may cast a spell with mana value 5 or less from my hand without paying its mana cost. So I'm going to draw 16 cards.
1 eternity later.
I'm going to play the Seedborn Muse. Untap all permanents I control during each other player's untap step.
Okay.
For 6, I'm going to cast Aisi. 5/5, I can play an additional land on each of my turns, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, I draw a
So
card.
now I can play 3 lands.
Second land for the turn is going to be a Temple of the False God. I'm going to draw a card off of Aisi.
You-
4, I'm going to cast Eureka Moment. I draw 2 cards and can put a land card from my hand onto the battlefield.
I imagine you got one.
I'm going to put down a Rejuvenating Springs. And that will let me draw a card off of Aisi.
I think our best bet right now is for Morgan to draw his entire deck and lose.
I'd hate to kill Preston. That seems wrong.
Wait, you're gonna kill somebody right now?
Stop speaking.
What? All I know is he can't kill me right now.
For 2, I'm gonna cast Arcane Signet. You'll know what to do. Okay, no, I don't have the mana to kill Preston right now. I could just sack my foods to the Clan Crafter to grow my commander and kill him.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot quite. My last land for the turn is going to be a Hinterland Harbor. I'll draw a card from my EC.
Do you have anything for no maximum hand size?
I have a Reliquary Tower that I can't find, and a Thought Vessel that I can't find. Help! I'm going to go to combat, and I'm going to send the Goose Mother at Preston for 16 damage in the air.
I'm just taking it.
I don't have anything to do.
And on attacks, the Goose Mother lets me sacrifice a food, which I will do to draw a card. Second main, we're going to, for 3, cast Academy Manufacturer. So 1/3 that says if I would create a clue, food, or treasure, I instead create one of each. Move to discard.
Yeah, you are.
One eternity later.
7. Okay, I'm there. And then when you untap, I will untap because of the Seaborn Muse.
Your turn was so long.
Draw my 2 cards. This triggers. My creature I'll choose will be the Ferocious Warfox, I think. So that'll go into my hand. Green for
I don't know,
Edgewall
who-
Innkeeper.
Whenever you cast a creature spell with an adventure, you draw a card.
Now I'm not in this game for long, so I might as well press the issue. Overloaded Cyclonic Rift.
Any response?
This isn't gonna affect me at all.
No, Steven, if you don't do anything,
Seriously,
you have to make
like-
him do it.
If you attack Morgan, then fine.
I was probably gonna go for it.
Yeah, so I can't let it happen. So for 2, I'm going to Arcane Denial.
Okay.
Counter target spell, its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next upkeep, and I will draw 1.
Spire Garden is my land for the turn. Blue for the Otter to draw a card. Deal 1 damage to Morgan. Ow! Catch Your Chimo is my second land for the turn.
Swing this at Steven and block it with this. Because when I attack on my turn with my Sun Titan, I'm gonna put that on his commander.
And I'm
Yeah.
also going to swing the 2/2 at you so I can maybe draw a card.
Yeah, I'll block that with Tegwyll. Tegwyll will survive. That thing will die. And that's 2/2, so I'll just block with... It doesn't matter. I mean, this one. It doesn't matter.
Card. Guard Charge. Create a monster roll token attached to target creature I control. I'll put that onto Otter. I think that is all I can do.
On your end step, for 5, I'm going to Return of the Wild Speaker, draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures I control. So I will draw 16 cards again.
What are the chances he whiffed?
He didn't.
Yeah, I'm feeling Gucci Gang. And then when you untap, I will untap.
I'm gonna tap for 2 white, and I'm gonna cast Daybreak Coronet. I'm gonna enchant Sun Titan. Enchant creature with another aura attached to it. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 and has first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do take back, little tiny take back, little itty bitty tiny take back. And first, play Archon of Sun's Grace. Okay, so then these 2 that then make the Pegasus.
Oh, me and Morgan were supposed to draw cards.
Yeah, you draw 2, I draw 1.
Can't pay for Smothering Tithe.
I can and will.
Sacrifice one of these treasures. 6. Recast my commander. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, I create a virtuous roll token. Another He's massive, folks.
Man, Sun Titan's going in.
So he's a 56/56 with first strike,
I don't
vigilance,
want him to gain
lifelink.
56 life.
Actually, when this enchantment enters the battlefield, I will make another Pegasus.
Correct.
Morgan, I'm gonna swing at you with my 56/56 with.
It doesn't have like hexproof or shroud or anything, right?
No, but just his first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Oh, I guess on attack, I'm gonna bring Kendra's transformation back, and I'm gonna enchant your commander.
I'm gonna pay 2 to call to heal, returning the Goose Mother to my hand, and I draw a card.
Still targeting Kendra's transformation to return to the battlefield. Kendra's transformation is going to turn Seedborn Muse into a 3/3 elk.
Okay, go to blocks. It does have trample, right?
It does not have trample.
I don't want him to gain 56 life.
No, that's...
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to Mystic Confluence. I'm gonna return target creature to its owner's hand, return target creature to its owner's hand, and I guess I'll get rid of one of your Pegasus tokens.
Sack this treasure, cast this Utopia Sprawl on this forest, and I'll choose white. And then I'll pass.
On your end step, I will pay a black to give Academy Manufacturer -3/-3 until end of turn. Because you do not need to be creating that many treasure tokens.
I think I need it in order to win. So I think I'm gonna pay 2 to cast Snap, return target creature to its owner's hand, untap up to 2 lands. I will untap the Simic Growth Chamber and Temple of Hope Skull.
Okay, fine.
Are you going to pay for Smothering Tithe?
Don't pay. We need to team up on Morgan.
Yes, just don't do it, Steven.
I'll play Bajuka Bog, Morgan.
Nope, that's fair.
Yeah, it is. And then I'll play just another swamp. Pay 2 with Soul Ring to tap, crack the Mirrored Landscape, search my library for the 2 basic land cards. Maybe I'll just get 2 islands. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure what to do.
Swing everything you have at Morgan. He can't block any of your flyers.
It's true.
I'd say save 1 as a blocker just in case, but
Like maybe your commander because it is Death Touch.
yeah.
I guess I'll tap Temple of the False God to cycle Cloud of Fairies.
Is that helpful?
Well, it doesn't not help. I'll attack Morgan with Fairy Harbinger, Mocking Sprite, Glen, Elandra Archmage, and Glen, Elandra Leech.
That's 15, right?
Well, unfortunately, I think if I let that happen, I die. So
What are you talking about? You still have 10 life.
yeah, only 10, and I have 3 opponents. So for 7, I'm going to overload Cyclonic Rift, returning all non-land permanents to my opponent's hands.
He doesn't get 2 cards on his turn. Let's go.
And I, because of our stupid truce, I can't counter that.
Correct.
Now, that truce was when you cast the first time. If you cast it again, the truce is no longer there.
It is a different cast. Well, that was fun.
I guess.
I didn't think it was that fun.
I also didn't think it was that fun. I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
Pay 1 to replenish Soul Ring, 3 to play my commander again, 3. I'll do Mocking Sprite again, and
Glen Elandra Archmage.
yeah, I guess I'll do that. All right, that's the end of my turn.
All right. For 2, I'm going to attempt to cast Thought Vessel. I have no maximum hand size.
Counter something that wins him the game.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah.
And he's trying to bait you to counter it so that he plays a Reliquary Tower as his land return.
I'm going to play Field of the Dead as my first land for the turn. When that enters, I will draw a card off of Vaisi, and I will create a zombie token. And I will actually create 2 because of Doubling Season.
How has the doubling season lasted so long?
My second land for the turn will be Mystic Sanctuary and will enter untapped, and when it does, I will return Cyclonic Rift to my hand. Then I'll create 2 more tokens and draw another card.
Even fair Simic decks are still.
Yeah, I would say
pretty
this is a
Simic.
I would say this is a fair Simic deck, and it's still kind of bonkers.
He's a silly goose.
For 4, I'm going to attempt to cast Parallel Lives. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens, I create twice as
That
many
you have to
instead.
counter.
I mean, Charlie's not going to kill us on this.
Am I wrong?
Pay 1, sack it.
Counter the Parallel Lives.
Counter Parallel
All right,
Lives.
fair enough.
It'll come back with a -1 counter. We saved these from Amonkhet.
Look at us.
For 1 and a green, I'm going to explore, draw a card. I can play an additional land this turn.
That's unacceptable.
Ancient Tomb, and then I will create 2 more zombies and draw another card off of Vaisi.
The better Temple of the False God.
For 4, I'm going to cast Urza, Lord High Artificer. 1/4 when it enters the battlefield, I create a construct token. I will actually create 2 because of Doubling Season, and I can tap an untapped artifact I control for blue mana.
So he can tap his foods for blue mana.
For 3, I'm going to recast the Academy Manufacturer. If I would create a clue, food, or treasure, I create 1 of each instead. And then for 10, I take 2 off of Ancient Tomb. So X is equal to 8. I will recast the Goose Mother.
It's 16.
So it has 16 +1/+1 counters. So I have 8 of each of these.
Okay, so it says if you would create a clue, food, or treasure token, create all 3 instead. Doubling Season sees this effect and turns 4 into 8. So that's why you get 8 here. So you would make 8 clues and 8 treasure tokens, but Doubling Season sees that and doubles those to 16.
Oh,
I'm like 99% positive that's how it works.
that works in my favor. So, I mean, I'll take it, I guess.
I might be
Peregrine-
wrong, and if I am, I kill this for no reason.
And then Peregrine Took also says if I would create 1 or more tokens, I create that many plus a food token instead.
So that's another 2 of each.
Recast the Seedborn Muse,
Yeah,
untap all permanents I
honest-
control during each other player's untap step. I'm going to send Peregrine Took at Jason, so that's 2. And I'm going to send Aisi at Preston to kill him.
I'm sorry.
And then Jason, on your untap step, I will untap because of the Seedborn Muse.
Well, boys, heart of the cards.
I do want to point out, I do have a board wipe in my hand, but it's creatures only.
I will play Sun Titan.
I just wanted to let you know.
We'll just go ahead and we'll grab Kenla's transformation and we'll put it on Urza.
Acceptable.
Tap for 4. Cast Retether. Return each aura card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Only creatures can be enchanted this way.
Sweet lord.
Verdant Embrace is the only one that you guys have not seen yet because I discarded it earlier. They will all get attached to my main man.
Sun
Dude,
Titan
you
really
just-
be carrying this game.
Sage's Reverie triggers when it enters the battlefield. Draw a card for each aura I control that's attached to a creature, which is 7.
Did you draw when that came in?
No, I didn't. This is Fine. Play this forest as my land for the turn. Could you swing at me first so I gain 50 life?
I don't know about that. You couldn't block it
your
anyway.
chance.
You don't have flying.
Oh yeah, you're
You
right.
can block it anyway.
On his end step, before you untap 7, I'm going to overload Cyclonic Rift again.
Turd.
I have to discard.
Yes, have fun.
Gonna put my commander in the command zone.
I feel like this is it. Like, if we can't get him now, it's over.
You right.
Steven, don't choke the goose.
I'll discard these cards. Play that board wipe.
I'll play Soul Ring first.
It's fair.
And then I'll play, then I'll enter Archmage. 7. I will destroy all non-fairy creatures.
Huh.
Heroic intervention.
I do have that in this deck, but somehow I don't have it in my hand.
Good.
I think that happens, yeah.
Let's go!
I don't know what to do next. 3 to recast my commander, and then I'll pass the turn.
Okay, you guys are dead. For 6, I'm going to cast Cyberdrive Awakener, 4/4 flyer. Other artifact creatures I control have flying, and when it enters the battlefield until my turn, all non-creature artifacts I control become 4/4 still end of turn.
I can't counter it because it's a creature.
So what if you just didn't do that?
I did, and then I'm going to swing at you guys with my giant army of tokens.
I mean, I can return up to 2 creatures to their owner's hands, but that doesn't help anyone.
Bounce your own 2 creatures.
Yeah, send a message.
Well,
Good game!
Good game! Good game!
Good game!
Wow, what a very Simic way, that's my library, what a Simic way to start the season. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and thanks to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this video. This video, I believe, is coming out the day that Wilds of Eldraine officially releases, but you can still check my link in the description if you'd like to order any boxes, any of the pre-cons, any of that awesome stuff. Tune in next week. We are going to have an after show. We are going to be talking a little bit more about this game, these decks, what we think of Wilds of Eldraine a little bit, and other fun stuff like that. Season 2 is going to be awesome, so make sure you're subscribed for lots of other awesome games, and we'll see you later. Bye.